This is Lyre's American Malt. Essentially, it's a non-alcoholic whiskey. Obviously, it can't be called whiskey because there's no alcohol in it, but Lyres are an Australian brand of non-alcoholic spirits, if you like, liqueurs, whatever you want to call them. And they are, I love them. I've used them in my business for quite a few years now. Stuff like this, the non-alcoholic whiskey. As I say, probably the whiskey not for me in my business at this now because of hen parties. We don't do whiskey sours. We would do an amaretto sour, for instance, like that. But if you're in the environment where you've got whiskey sours rocking out, maybe old fashions, and you don't want that alcoholic bite, these will work a treat. Now, the point to kind of note, the disclaimer in this from a bartender point of view, do not expect these to taste to replicate the alcoholic versions. They are simply not. There's no alcohol in that to give that the body or the flavour that you would expect. It's the alcohol burn that gives you the flavour, especially in a whiskey. But do you get that whiskey vibe from this? Yes, 100%. This makes a really good non-alcoholic whiskey sour. It really, really does. I back myself on that. It is really, really good. But because there's no alcohol in there, as I say, do not expect it to replicate that thing. They always say in the back of the bottles with non-alcoholic spirits, keep refrigerated after open, so keep it in the fridge and use it within 12 weeks. Again, that's not because it's gonna go off per se, but because there's no alcohol and no real sugar, not volumes of sugar in there to preserve the flavour, the flavours will dissipate after sort of 12 weeks or so. But, as I say, if you're not gonna get through a bottle in 12 weeks, don't buy it, it's the wrong thing for you. But non-alcoholic whiskey sours, I tell you, I mean, this, I do get the whiskey notes, I get the sort of, what I would associate from barrel aging. It is, as a non-alcoholic spirit, it is pretty delicious.